Hello, thank you for tuning into this week's section of reads. This should be on the YouTube channel of James 13 Wicca, in case you're seeing it somewhere else. The dice and decks I'm using are also listed below. Other than that, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's also below. Thank you very much for watching, and let's get into your selection. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Reality. And the Knight of Cups. Okay, hold on. I mean, you prefer reality. Why are we so sloppy? We're so sloppy. Okay. Your opportunity. Where is your opportunity? There's an opportunity here. I'm just like, I don't know why those are pushing out of the bottom, but there they are. Opportunity is here. Yeah, okay. I'm not doubting it. I'm just like, how are we getting there? Things are kind of, I would say messy to start with. This, whatever this is stemming from a Wheel of Fortune moment. This might be, my first thought is this could have been a rude awakening. Not so much like I was devastated, more in the sense of like, oh, that's what's going on. Oh. I think of Aries as liking the bare truth. Don't be dressing it up. Don't make it look pretty. Just show me what it is. I'll make my own mind up. Thank you very much. I don't need you to make it look pretty. Just show it to me or tell me what it actually is. I don't need the frills. And I feel like when this Wheel of Fortune moment came in, that's exactly what happened. But Aries tends to respect that. I don't need the frills. Don't dress it up nicely. Just show me what it actually is. I can do something when I know what it actually is. I don't need the frills. Not interested. This kind of upset the apple cart here a bit. I'm still on this card. Okay. Something I thought was stable, something I thought had been fortified in a certain way, I didn't believe that anymore. It didn't mean it was broken, but it's just kind of like, I thought this was completely stable and immovable. That's not the case. Doesn't mean it's going to crumble, doesn't mean it's going to fall and or fail, but it's definitely not what I thought it was. This was, I don't know if that was comfortable or not for you. I don't really know yet, because I get the Knight of Cups coming forward here in this situation. Whatever this is very important to you. But also I feel like when that Wheel of Fortune moment came in, reality hit hard. I feel like, I don't know if I liked it as much as I'm just like, I respect it. Like, I need to know that. I need to know that. And it brought more of like, I don't have question marks anymore. I know what's going on now. Something has been floating around here. Something has been a little maybe off. I feel like something has been off for a while. But it was also like, I don't want to make a big deal about it. It seems minimal. Everybody has their moments. I don't need to make a moment about every little thing. Could have been like that. Kind of like, all right, you know, just because I got that look doesn't mean that look was actually for me. They just could have been having a bad day. I don't know. I keep getting like, I've been letting something slide for a reason. And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe that time has passed. That time where I'm letting it slide has passed. And I feel like I'm looking at it in a different light now. I feel like now I'm holding back, but I'm paying attention. The Seven of Swords makes me feel like I'm paying, to me, sometimes it does come forward in like a little bit of a spying way. It is the Thief card, just to be fair, with like getting information and stealing away without people knowing. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Things are going to change, and I am paying closer attention. I am making my own decision. It's almost like the reality has really started to sink in, and now I'm like, all right, I haven't been really reacting to it because I really don't know what I want to do with it yet. This is a very high-level strategy moment for Aries. Could you call something out? Obviously, if you really wanted to. I feel like at this point you still haven't, because you haven't decided what you want to do with it yet. You've, you know, like all of us, the School of Hard Knocks, I'm a Pisces, but I have some strong Aries placements. So, so, um, so you're making sure you want an outcome before you start working towards an outcome, if that makes sense. Could you burn it down if you wanted to? Clearly, but you haven't made up your mind if that's what you wanted to do. Could you fix it? I get a shrug of the shoulders. Is it fixable? Is it worth trying to see if it can be fixed? Still shrugging shoulders. Still evaluating the situation. I will not be manipulated by somebody else's words. Aries typically learns this at some point. Yeah, I have strong Aries placements, even though I'm a Pisces, and I feel like this has happened to me because I can be very blunt, call things right out. This is how I am. And I don't mean it in a negative way, but it's just a natural part of my personality. I feel like that's an Aries. I feel like that's part of the Aries thing. And at some point, I feel like all Aries realize this at some point. If you're too eager to set something right, people start planning that to their advantage, and people will set you up at a certain time so they can get a certain reaction, so they can realign the story to their needs. And once you realize people do that, especially if you notice certain people doing that, you're going to be like, oh, no. I know what they're doing. They're throwing something out in front of me, so I'll react, and then they can do what they want. And they can play the hero, or they can do this, or they can make me look like I'm this, or make me look like I'm that. And once you realize it's happening, you're going to be like, we're not doing that. I see it happening, but doesn't mean I'm going to react. Doesn't mean I have to. Aries has a lot of control when you want to. When you realize people are, messing with you, you're like, no, you're not getting that advantage with me. Usually Aries realizes that at some point. I feel like younger Aries energy jumps forward and says things before we think too much about it. As Aries matures at whatever age, you start to realize, no. I see people setting me up so they can get a certain reaction, so they can get the advantage. We will not be doing that. All right, so you're making a choice. You're planning, and you're still trying to assess it. I keep getting like I'm assessing it. I'm still trying to figure out like why this, why that. Trying to put it together so I can like decide what I'm going to do and how I'm going to do it. It may be more about the how, because I'm seeing more random energy, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, does somebody have a substance abuse problem or something? Like, why are we so random in some of this? Random is one thing, but random in a destructive way makes me question it. These fell out upside or face down. Somebody is trying to set you up. I don't know if you know that as much as you're suspecting it. Somebody is. This is around you. This is in the environment around the situation. Somebody trying to make a bold decision and trying to get you to do something. Trying to get you to react in a certain way. But you're not playing it. You're not doing it. And I feel like this is really becoming very stressful for the person who's trying to set you up and get you to have a certain reaction, because you're not doing it. You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Nope, not playing that game for you. Nope. Whoever this is, it's stressing them out. But that's all right. The navigating by the stars and the 5 of Cups, this is a good lesson for them to learn. Play with fire, get burned. And Aries is a fire sign. So I feel like this is why they're stressed. They're like, Aries didn't react the way I thought they would. Why not? Why not? I feel like they're a little freaked out. Good. I mean, I don't feel bad about it personally. Be freaked out about it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know how that goes. I'm really spicy about it too. I'm like, oh yeah? You're stressed because you were playing a foolish game? I like that. I like that. This is meant to set you up to get where you want to go. That's the whole purpose of this reading, and we're going to get there, but like this next part seems to be more critical, especially when you start realizing what's going on here. Not playing somebody else's game. Never showed up for that. Didn't show up to play somebody else's game. If you're showing up, you're going to do it your way. That's how that goes. Not showing up to play somebody else's game. But I do feel like I'm holding it together long enough that it's really not that difficult. It's becoming old hat. And then it's kind of like, all right, do I want to just keep doing that and just see how long it lasts? And just see what comes next? Because I feel like you're starting to pick up on that the other side, whoever's playing this game, is starting to get stressed, and you're like, I kind of like it. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, oh, you're stressed. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my goodness, you messed with me, and now you're stressed. Oh no, oh no, oh no. There's one version of just like seeing how long it lasts and just see what happens next. Just kind of like, I don't have to worry because I'm not the one freaking out. There's another version. This one might be more entertaining for you, but you got to decide clearly what's right for you. Whatever's going on here, I feel like this has changed how you feel about something. And even though you thought something was more stable, it's turned out to be not as stable as you thought. And they were trying to set you up to create a change. And it's one of those things where, all right, I'm not going to just do what they want to create the change that they want. But there may be a change that you, over time, are like, you know what? Whatever this is, they want it to change. Maybe I do too, after thinking about it. After this has been, maybe I do too. But we're going to do this my way, not their way. You may have a new goal that kind of evolves over time. You might be in the process of that now. When that starts happening, it's like you deciding where you actually want to be, where you want your life to go, and slowly edging it that way, playing the strategic game and slowly edging it the direction you want it to go. And you making your mind up like, all right, whatever this connection is with this person, maybe you've decided you don't want this connection with this person, whatever it is. Whatever role they currently have in your life, you're like, you know what? I don't really want them in that role anymore because I don't like how this is going. I don't like these little games they're playing. It may not mean that you're going to completely cut them out of your life, but it may be where you're realigning how they connect with you. They may not have as much of effect going forward the way this is going. And if you're slowly edging it where you want to, you'll naturally get in the flow, and it'll just be one of those things where you're slowly changing it, which allows you to privately decide, like if you get so far down this road and you're like, you know what, I thought I wanted to change this, but I've changed my mind. You're keeping this so private that you literally could if you wanted to. It keeps the power completely in your control. It does make this other side very stressed, though, because it's almost like they know something isn't right. They just can't put their finger on it. Because when Aries wants to be strategic, you're very strategic. At some point, the way this situation is going, this Wheel of Fortune moment has really upset the apple cart a lot. It has really shaken the foundation. At some point down the road, I feel like this is more about you coming to the center of how you actually feel about this based on what happened here in this moment. And I feel like once I sort that out, it's not so much deciding because of that I want to do this. It's more of a, because of that, this is how that affects me. This is how I feel about that now. And because of the way I feel, this is where I'm going to take it. I just feel like I don't want it to sound as much elective as just kind of like when I really sink down to how I feel about this, especially if it's somebody very important in your life and you don't feel safe with them anymore, emotionally or whatever. Once that's changed, it's kind of like, I don't feel emotionally safe with you anymore. I don't feel financially safe with you anymore. I don't feel physically safe with you anymore. Whatever it is with them. I don't feel like I can depend on you. I don't feel like I'm safe enough to feel like I can depend on you because of that moment. It's almost like saying, I need to switch this person out of this role. I just can't be comfortable there anymore. And there's a moment here where it's like, I'm feeling like I'm in limbo when I accept that. Like, I was heading towards a change, and now I'm starting to feel like I really do need to make this change. I don't really have a choice as much as I thought I did, because I can't go backwards and be comfortable like I was before. Knowing what I know now, I can't unknow what I know. I don't feel financially safe anymore. I don't feel emotionally safe anymore. I don't feel physically safe. I don't feel like I can depend on this person anymore. I feel like when the chips are down, all bets are off, and I never felt that way before. Because of that, I don't want this person in this role anymore, and I need to change it because I can't go back and be like it was. This is one of those moments where I feel like, you know, when people say forgive and forget, I'm more of a forgive and remember. I can forgive what it was, but I'm going to remember what it was, and I'm going to have to change the connection based on it. I'm definitely a forgive and remember person. I'm definitely one of those. I can forgive a situation, I can forgive some actions, but I'm going to remember what they're like, and I'm not going to give them the opportunity to do it again. That's still forgiveness on my terms, not their terms. That's for sure. I don't like the forgive and forget thing. That annoys me for some reason, because I feel like when we do the forgive and forget, that realigns us to go through the same thing again. I'm like, no, you already showed me what you're like. I forgive it and let it go, but I'm not going to let myself go through that again. I'm not going to give you that opportunity again. Like, no. You're going to overcome this, and you're going to set out on a new path. And this is going to be best for you. This is you making peace with it over time, and you aligning this the way you want it to go. The strategic version of Aries can shock people, because sometimes I've seen this happen where people think Aries is kind of a hothead. That's not always the case, obviously. But I feel like when they realize that you have the ability to get really strong in a moment if you want to, but you hold it back, and you can get through a whole situation and not let that come out if you don't want it to, I feel like it shows them another level of you. And I feel like that kind of gets them to kind of be a little bit more respectful, because they don't want that level of you. And I feel like the more they're nervous about it, the more they're likely to be respectful to the situation, because they don't want to see that side of you. Might as well let it work to your advantage. Might as well, because also, in my opinion, Aries doesn't go off just for the fun of it. Aries usually goes off for a reason. So if they're intimidated by that, well, like I said earlier, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't feel bad for them. So, anything else? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.